he did last night. Also, let's see what else was going on here. Robert is saying, next game is at home. He's talking to Dre. So now, yeah, Washington has an opportunity because basically Boston took care of business. Washington, lost an opportunity, a key opportunity that they had to steal a game. But now it's up to Washington. They're going to go at home. My big belief is nothing really, really happens or nothing goes down until game 3. So it's chalk right now. But obviously, Washington lit a definite opportunity that was just right there. It was in their hand, and they let Boston just took it, and Isaiah took it from them. Grego is saying definitely an MVP candidate, so he's talking about Isaiah Thomas. Dre Wells was saying they put Bradley on Wall, which is a good job. Avery Bradley has been you can't stop John Wall. All you can do is just try and slow him down. So that helped out. So Dre, you're probably absolutely right. With why John Wall was having some of those problems in the fourth quarter. Dobby, who was in the building, what's up, Dobby? He said superstars are born in the playoffs, especially in the fourth quarter. Absolutely right, Dobby. I mean, if this is where you make your name. This is where, you get your money also. So for Isaiah Thomas, he is showing up and showing out. And all this is doing is gaining momentum. This is their 6th game in a row that they've won. So now they're going to go into Washington very confident. It will be a hostile, environment. But when you got a guy like Isaiah Thomas on your team, you really don't, worry about that at all. But shouts out to Kesey, who's in the building as well. Good morning to you, Kesey. Grego said Al Horford playing like he back in UF. Yes, he was missing for a while, Grego, and Al Horford is back. And he doesn't need to be the guy because you got Isaiah, but he just needs to play his part. And that's exactly what he did, last night. And playing the part is also what Bradley Beal needs to do. He struggled. Again, he was 1 for 9 from the 3-point range. And I think he shot like 4 for 15 or something like that from the field. So that's not going to get it in the playoffs. With 14 points. So yeah, 4 for 5 from the field goal, 1 for 9 for 3 points. So this is going to be very interesting going back to Washington because now you're down 0-2, but you definitely could be 2-1. And these guys still, if not even more, don't like each other. So I will be looking forward to this game. I'm glad it is happening, and we'll talk about it next week, when everything's all said and done. But shouts out to my girl Denise Milk and Cookies, who's in the building, X Squad affiliate. So ladies and gentlemen, it's early in the morning. I am your man, Jelani JB Bodie, host of this show you're listening to right now, the Wait a Minute Show. So shouts out to Doug for letting me jump on. I'm the opening act. Yes, again, for WSME. Doug will be on at 10 o'clock, so I know y'all will be happy about that and have your ears tuned. But for right now, we doing this thing, in the morning with the Wait a Minute Show. So Golden State, what can we say about Golden State? I think, no one is really surprised by what is going on with Golden State. Utah, I've already called them, even if it was the Clippers, I called them the sacrificial lamb. They're going to really find out what playoff basketball is about. They're going to gain some experience and they will come back, better from this because you have no choice. You're playing against arguably the best team, in the NBA overall. Cleveland is in there as well, but Golden State has definitely made a case, and they had a balanced attack last night. I mean, you had all your guys, all-star 5 starters scored in double figures. I don't even know why I stayed up to watch the game. I knew what was going to happen, but I had to watch it. Steph was putting people in the mix like he normally do. Draymond, being effective on both ends of the board. Both ends of the court, that is, and he was being Draymond, So this is really nothing, to talk about unless Utah takes game 2, then that's something we can talk about. Then it's going to get interesting. But we're really waiting for either Golden State in Houston or Golden State in San Antonio. But I thought I'd talk about it just a tad bit, on it. So shouts out to Golden State. I want to touch back on last week because, like I said, last time I was on was Wednesday, so before the draft. So we won't get into all the draft picks and all that stuff because everybody really knows about that. I want to talk about impact, of draft picks. And Dobby, you are right. Steph did Gobert dirty. I mean, he should have wrote him an apology letter for what he did to him. But the draft picks of last week. So everyone, was surprised by Chicago's pick. I was too. I couldn't believe it. But I wanted to sit down and look at maybe, three guys that got taken in the first round that will make an immediate impact, on their team. So my three, and if you got someone that you want to throw out, please throw them in the chat and we'll talk about it as well. Maybe somebody from your favorite team or just, you just said that guy's going to be, an impact. Grego, stop it. He already talking about Trubisky. Stop it. Don't throw that man name in here in the chat room. I'm telling you, I'll get Lopan on you. Indeed. So Lopan don't play, man. You come correct or you don't come at all. But my three that I got, I want to start first with Leonard Fournette. And here's why. I know you're thinking Jacksonville Jaguars, they were sorry last year. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But this guy, he could change their entire fortune. And because they have a new coaching staff other than, Doug Marrone staying on. But the whole thing about Jacksonville was that they put the game and their hopes of winning into Blake Bortles. And ladies and gentlemen, let's just be real. Blake Bortles is not what we thought he was going to be. At least not right now. So with Fournette helps Blake Bortles. And here's how he helps for Blake Bortles. One, they established a running game. We saw what Zeke did for Dak in that offense and their defense, which Jacksonville defense is better than Dallas defense. But we saw what a running game that can be established can do for a quarterback. Also, with that, you have a plethora of wide receivers. You got Allen Robinson. You got Allen Hurns. You got Rashad Green. They just took Dede Westbrook. You still got Marquise Lee. Now you got some questions at tight end because Mercedes Lewis is there and Michael Rivera is there. But if this guy, Leonard Fournette, yes, and Grego just said they extended Bortles. Yeah, they picked up his 5th year option. So, if you give this guy the ball and he turns out to be anywhere closely related to Zeke, you definitely end up putting your name in the pot to be looked at in the AFC South. So I think Leonard Fournette could do that. Someone's going to be on the outside looking in because you still got 3 running backs and TJ Yeldon, Chris Ivory, and my man from Michigan. I should know his name. Denard Robinson, but Leonard Fournette will make an immediate impact on that team. Second guy that I got on there is Corey Davis. And if you don't know Corey Davis went to Western Michigan. Reggie, Lawrence would say roll the boat if he was in here, but Corey Davis going to the Titans. Now this is vice versa. You got your running backs. You got DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry. And you got Mariota. Mariota is almost like a running back himself. So now you need your passing attack. You picked up Tajay Sharp last year. Now you got Corey Davis to go on the other side of that. Now you got a guy who doesn't mind being a number one and who probably can handle being a number one. You got a downfield threat. So now DeMarco is not sitting looking at 8, 9 people in the box, 15 people in the box, and he thinking he Neo, on the Matrix, and fighting all these agents. So I think Corey Davis will be someone that will make a big, impact. And last but not least, and this is going to touch people in Atlanta, and just the NFC South. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they picked up this guy, O.J. Howard. Now, I've seen O.J. Howard play for Alabama. And the scary thing about it is that Nick Saban said they didn't even really use him because they had other plans. And this dude was still balling. This dude went 19th in the first round. And the reason that this is going to be an immediate impact because you put him with Cameron Brake, who had a a breakout year. If you don't know who he is, look him up. JB Jennings, he'll tell you. Look up Cameron Brate. He had a really good year last year. He was a tight end. So now you got two possibly quality tight ends. And I'm going to go back. I'm not going to compare them to these guys, but it's like that. It's Gronk and Hernandez, or Gronk and Martellus Bennett. So you can run so many different, packages, with just those two tight ends. Not to mention you picked up Deshaun Jackson as a free agent. You got Mike Evans, and then you got Jameis, and then you still got, your trio of running backs. This pick right here, this is a keep up pick. And what I mean by a keep up pick is that they picked up O.J. Howard to keep up with everyone else in the NFC South. They picked up O.J. Howard because they found out the hard way. When they played the Falcons, they beat the Falcons the first game of the year when they came into the Georgia Dome and took that game. But they found out, what scoring really was that second time around. And the Falcons put it on them. New Orleans, they are going to be an up-tempo offense that they want to go down the field. They got AP, but they want to put up points. Carolina, a little bit more of established run and everything, but they are capable of putting up points. So this is a keep up pick, because you want to win your division first, and then after you win your division, you want to try and get home field advantage. So O.J. Howard, look for O.J. Howard. This is going to be a very, very interesting year for the NFC South, but also for someone like O.J. Howard, because he could immediately be an impact on this team. And Grego is saying it right now, Howard's going to be a problem. Yes. And I'm hoping it's not against the Falcons, Grego. So, Big L, what's up? Big L's in the building. Shouts out to Big L. Thank you for dropping in. And let's move on to my next, topic. Since we're talking about, guys that's draft picks, I really wanted to, touch, on this subject. And my viewpoint has changed since I've made my initial opinion about it. So there's an article about more prospects that's coming out of college, for football, college prospect skipping bowl games, to basically protect themselves. And initially I said I understand it. I totally understand it, why you would want to do it. But then I leaned on the side. It's like, hey man, you got to finish the job. You gotta go ahead, play, and treat it like any other game. And I started thinking, I said, Jelani, you smoking something, and why would you think something like that? Lopan, chill out. I got this. I just told them I made a mistake. All right. I know I made a mistake, Lopan. Chill out, man. I told you I got this. All right. Dang. So I went back and I thought about it and I said, yo, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah. What is this all about at the end of the day? Is this about being there for your teammates? Is this about, keeping your word? Is this about, finishing the job? No. This is about money. This is about the green stuff. And Rough Buff just said it. Why play in a meaningless bowl game? There's another example of kids getting pimped. And prime example are guys like last year was Jalen Smith for Notre Dame. He dropped. He got injured right off, pretty much at the end of the game, and he dropped in the draft. Now this guy is trying to get his career started where he had a career started. This year, Jake Butt. If you don't know who Jake Butt is, he is a tight end, former tight end for the Michigan Wolverines. They're playing Florida State. He gets hurt in the third or the fourth quarter. Now he was going to be probably round 2, round 3 pick. He drops to the 5th round, because he got hurt. So guys like Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey, they took some flack, for sitting out. And now I am all on board for sitting out bowl games and getting your money. Because you know why? You know why, ladies and gentlemen? You know why, everybody, this morning I'm on board? Because everybody else seems to be getting their money And ain't nobody talking about them when they leaving. So I got two people. Coaches do it all the time. I got two people who did it just this year.